Hey, Jimmy. There's always something new to learn, and here in Rogue Kitchen, we learn by playing with our food. It's Rogue Kitchen. And welcome back, everybody. Next week, classes start. So if you haven't registered, for those of you students who are out there watching, if you haven't registered, get out there and register. And you know what class has plenty of room in it? Plant-based cuisine. Which, by the way, guess what this week is? Well, it's not totally plant-based. Today is actually National Burger Day, but what we're doing is we're going to do a taste comparison between plant-based Impossible beef and regular grass-fed beef. All right, so we're going to we'll season both of those up the same, make them into little patties. We'll cook them up the same, and then Jimmy, you and I will
do a little sensory analysis.
We'll do a little sensory analysis, and here to help us with that sensory analysis, only she will just try the Impossible Burger, is one of our new employee staff members, Maddie Wright. Maddie, how you doing today?
Doing well. How you boys doing?
Good. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, you bet. So excited to have you on board. So excited to have you interacting with students. So what is your role here at the School of Hospitality?
Yeah, so I'm the full-time academic advisor, so that's what I'm doing. So yeah, anything about what classes should I take, when can I graduate, forms to fill out, I'll be the go-to person for that.
Very cool.
I know I've been sending students your way a lot.
Yeah.
But it's so great that you're here for them, and you get to get engaged with them and get them going, started on their journey, and help them plan that academic career.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of getting them, just really need to be in the right classes, kind of getting towards their dream job.
Awesome.
That's it.
And then I'll take them from there.
Exactly.
Hopefully we get them out into the industry.
That's it. So do you help students, like they come to you and say, I want to be in hotel management? You say, okay, here's the academic map for you for that, to kind of how,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We have all kinds of like 4-year plans, and if you're not on a 4-year path, we have, one class at a time path situations. But yeah, you let me know what you want to study, and we'll make it happen together.
Very good. And you have quite a bit of higher education experience, right? So this is like perfect for you. So kind of tell us a little bit about your experience leading up to this point, and kind of why you took on this role.
Yeah, so I just in May actually graduated with my master's in higher education. So I
congratulations.
Thank you. So yeah, I spent time kind of studying higher education, so colleges, universities, what makes them work and how we can make them better. And I kind of just worked a bunch of different odd jobs within higher education. Like I worked for orientation, disability services, academic coaching, housing, libraries, student media. I've kind of done a bunch of odd things, but I like to say this is my first like big kid job.
There you go.
Like I'm full on in MSU. That's me.
Excellent. Well, again, we are so excited to have you on board, and just really looking forward to, to continue to grow our student body and to grow our enrollment here at School of Hospitality. And
our team. We've got so many great people. A couple weeks ago, we had Eric on, and we're going to continue to have other new staff and faculty on, and kind of get to
there's a lot of us newies.
Yeah.
There is, and so we're all kind of coming back to, again, our new office space, and this new team. So we've got kind of just everybody's experiencing just this newness, if you will, of everything. So it's so exciting. Very, very good. So I'm gonna kind of just
you want to walk us through like
just
the
kind of seasoning of this and of these and whatnot. I'm gonna put on some gloves here. Prior to starting, I washed my hands and everything, so I'm just going to put on some gloves here. And this is just a really easy seasoning here on this.
And we're going to do the exact same seasoning on
exact
both,
same,
right?
That's correct. Yeah, so we're going to turn it around there. There we go. All right, so I'm going to throw in some fresh chopped thyme here. A couple weeks ago we did that steak Diane. We had some fresh chopped thyme in there. Love having.
You're telling me this thyme is 2 weeks old?
Fresh thyme. No, it is not. No, that time would have been beyond its time. We'll put a little bit more in there, a little bit more. Okay.
Is that the same?
That's about the same there, I think. Right?
All right.
Yeah, a little bit more. All right. So then we'll go ahead and do a little bit of onion powder here. And again, this is just kind of a little eyeball in here, maybe a quarter of a teaspoon or so there. Oh, this one, can't forget this one. Exact same, right? So, and Maddie, you like the plant-based cuisine, right?
Yeah.
Like to get into plant-based cuisine. So, have you ever tried this Impossible Burger stuff?
I love the Impossible meat.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, have you tried Beyond Beef as well?
Yeah, I was telling Jimmy the other day, I went through a period while I was going to college actually, where I ate a Beyond Burger every single day.
Beyond. So,
Yeah.
do you,
That was my go-to.
so do you prefer Beyond or Impossible?
Depends on the day. I kind of burnt
Okay.
myself off with the Beyond after
yeah.
having them every day for,
Sure.
I don't know, maybe 6 months.
Yeah.
But I like them both. I cook
Okay.
with both for sure.
Yeah.
Finish
It's
off
just
with-
awesome that there's such a variety of the products now.
Yeah.
Like they have the pre-made meatballs, the sausage,
Yeah.
and they're all really good.
Yeah, I grew
They
up
have a great
vegetarian.
texture.
Yeah, I grew up vegetarian, and it's just like seeing all like the different plant-based stuff like
Mhm.
throughout my lifetime. Like growing up, it was like, protein was beans and nuts. That was
Yeah.
kind of all you got.
That's it,
yeah.
But now there's so many fancy things, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
and we talked a lot about that stuff in our plant-based cooking class.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in that, definitely students out there enroll in it.
check it out. Yeah, definitely. What do you think? You think I should put Dijon in there today? Leave that.
No, let's leave that out.
Let's leave
go
that
with-
out.
yeah,
Okay.
let's-
All right. So, Jimmy, one of the things that that we maybe isn't really considered when mixing meat, right, is actually how to properly mix meat,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I think a lot of people just get in there and just
Just
start.
go at it and just
Beating it up.
who's that? Oh gosh, what's his name anyway? Forget it. I'm trying to. Conor McGregor,
Oh.
who was it that he fought a couple months ago when he broke his foot? Who was
Hey,
that
break
guy?
a leg.
Oh, break a leg. I don't remember, but he just kind of punched. Anyway, I forget it. So yeah, we don't really want to get in there and beat up that meat at all, right? Or even the.
Well,
in the Impossible.
I don't know. We should do a test on that sometime, and
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know how it reacts to like being mixed.
Sure.
Like how well it holds together.
That's true, because there is no fat in there. The reason why we don't want to beat up that meat is because we don't want to separate the fat from the meat. But at the same time, we also want to keep the nice airiness inside of that ground meat. There's a reason why it's ground in a certain way, right? And a lot of times you buy meat at the supermarket and it's super compact inside of that packaging. So when you get it out, it's just this, it's a clump like this, right? So what we want to do with that is we want to break it up, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the plant-based here first. I'll change my gloves in between. I think that would be smart.
Right.
But,
I would say don't go meat then plant-based.
yeah, definitely not meat than plant-based. No.
I don't think Maddie would appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely not. So we're just going to kind of break this up a little bit. And again, we don't want to beat this stuff up too much. We just want to.
And I have my kids help make burgers, and I walk them through this too. Like you have to just like lightly kind of fluff
Fluff
the
it up.
meat.
Yeah.
And then I actually have them like I use a ring mold, and then I have them just kind of gently set it in there, lightly pack it in, so you're not messing with it too much, mashing it down.
Pack it up, pack it in. Oh no, that's bad. No. That's from the 90s. For those of you who are we're 90s kids.
You're dating
now.
yourself.
I am. That's fine. Okay, so see, we're just kind of crumbling it all up.
It even looks like ground beef.
It does look like ground beef.
They've done a really good job with this.
Yeah, they definitely have, and I taught basic skills this past summer, and I had students do a taste comparison between ground beef and Impossible and Beyond. Some of them got Beyond, some of them got Impossible, and I had them do an analysis of it and stuff, and again, there were some of them that didn't like the flavor of Beyond, some of them preferred the, like the flavor of the Impossible, but yeah, it's an interesting product for sure. All right, so we're gonna try to leave it at that there. So I'll go ahead and clean off.
All right, while you're changing gloves.
Yeah, I'm gonna change gloves here.
So, Maddie, you're from Colorado,
Yes,
right?
sir.
A question we've been asking everybody is, what's your favorite restaurant?
My favorite restaurant?
Yeah.
In Colorado? Well, I think my favorite restaurant would be in Colorado anyway. I'm going to say I went to Colorado State University up in Fort Collins. My favorite restaurant is a place in Fort Collins called the Waffle Lab. Don't know if anybody's been there.
The Waffle Lab?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And it's
interesting.
completely waffle-based things.
Yeah.
They have like some other.
Do
like,
they do
things.
sandwiches in the waffles and stuff
Sometimes,
too?
yeah, there's some
Oh,
sandwiches
wow.
they do too. But my go-to order was the s'mores waffle, and it's just chocolate marshmallow waffle. And they're Belgian waffles, and they're so filling. They look super tiny, which I was always worried about, and then you leave stuffed regardless.
Huh.
They also make super thin, crispy French fries that I adore. You have those as your appetizer, then you have a sweet waffle, drinking a hot chocolate or a mimosa. That was my favorite place in
Nice.
college, yeah.
Nice.
All right, very good.
Oh, I'll have to make it up there
The
sometime.
Waffle Lab, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Interesting. Very cool. All right, I'm gonna mix up this other meat here, and we'll
Yeah.
continue on. So now we're in the beef here, right? So again, with that beef, we definitely want to make sure we just gently crumble this up, and we don't want to mash it or anything. And again, our hands are warm, right? And the meat's cold. And so at least while we're mixing, right, we don't want to heat up that meat. We want to keep those little strands of meat together. That's why, some books will even, some chefs, some authors, and yada yada, they'll recommend grinding your own meat because you don't get that you don't get the compaction in the grocery store.
Well, and then you can control the fat content and what kind of meat you use.
Well, and you can ground pork with it too, and you
Yeah.
can ground bacon or
just throw some liver in there.
Some liver. All right, so we're just going to kind of mix this up. Now, what's funny is I'm just mixing up 1 pound here, right? But before I started working here, I worked for a corporate caterer, and we would make like 100-pound meatloaves.
Yeah.
And so it's taking 100 pounds of ground beef and mixing it and trying not to overmix it.
Yeah.
Oh man, tell you what. But again, I kind of learned a technique, of doing
Yeah.
that. We had a huge Hobart mixer with a big old
Yeah.
paddle in it.
It depends a little bit though, because when I do meatloaf or meatballs,
Yeah.
I tend to mix it a lot more because then the meat will kind of bind and seize together a little bit better.
Yeah.
Now,
Now, do you add breadcrumbs or egg to your meatballs?
I don't because
you don't,
we're
okay.
still pretty low carb in my household.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why I do that extra mixing, so that way it really kind of binds to itself and sticks together.
Okay. All right.
We do put cheese in our meatballs though.
There's your binder right there.
Yeah.
what kind of cheese do you use?
Shredded Parmesan.
Shredded Parm.
Yeah, either
Parm's
shredded
good.
or grated.
Okay. No, Parm's good. It adds that kind of that extra sharpness.
Yeah.
That
And actually, sometimes I'll
rich
do
sharpness.
coconut flour in there too, because
Oh, that's nice.
coconut flour really absorbs a lot of liquid.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so it kind of helps that bind together too.
Okay. Very nice.
And the egg.
Yeah,
It's just not the breadcrumbs.
It's just not the breadcrumbs. I wonder if I've been using almond flour in various recipes,
Yeah.
making almond flour biscuits and stuff. I wonder if almond flour might be a good binder in meat. I don't know, it's something.
I mean, it doesn't really bind too much. When you do it with biscuits, I have an almond flour biscuit recipe.
Yeah.
That we should do, where it's mostly cheese and almond flour and egg. But they're really close to the Red Lobster biscuits.
Oh,
But
yeah.
There's only 2 grams of carbs for a
Yeah.
whole biscuit,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, so we'll let these hang out for a little bit. Maddie, we're gonna keep talking to you,
Yeah.
and then we'll go down to the kitchen and we'll cook up our 2 different types of burgers there and kind of do our analysis there. But Jimmy, after 3 weeks here, I still haven't memorized the questions here. So I'm gonna cheat here a little bit and kind of take a look there. Okay, so we've got the favorite restaurant there. What about hobbies? Do you like? You've lived in Colorado your whole life. It's a mountainous state.
Yeah.
A lot of outdoor recreation, right? So, but what do you like to do?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, outdoorsy stuff. I got into running recently. Was
Oh,
never a
okay.
big runner before, but I don't know, these last 2 years,
Nice.
been fun. Yes, trail running, especially. I grew up in Boulder County, so Boulder County's
okay.
got some great trail runs.
Yeah.
And even here too, out near Red Rocks and stuff like that.
Yeah. Have you done any races?
I've done 5Ks, but charity-based 5Ks.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to prove anything to anyone.
Definitely not yet. Yeah. Definitely
But
not
that
yet,
that race environment's just kind of fun.
Yeah,
right?
no, it's
everybody's
fun.
there. It's cheering you on, and it's
Yeah.
for a cause.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, a lot of those supported sport events are a lot of fun. Or the like a bike ride or a run or something like that. They're always well supported, I think.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Communities out
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
absolutely.
it's super fun.
Yeah. Post activities are always a lot of fun too. But
Yeah.
so besides running, you got anything else?
What
You
else
got,
do I do? I
do you have?
got into cooking recently.
Okay.
Not anything like you all, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Me and Fancy. What else do I do?
Do you have a dog or anything? Or?
No dogs, no nothing. I'm
Yeah.
boring. I just moved to like kind of the Denver area like 2-ish months ago, so still
Okay.
working on getting settled. I mean, I grew up here, but still getting to know Denver a little
Sure.
bit better.
Yeah.
And that kind of stuff. I don't know. I love doing things, and by that I mean like concerts, sporting events,
Oh,
like
okay.
plays, movies. Like I love
That
a
kind of
good
stuff.
event.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get into like the Denver like culture scene, so to
Okay.
speak.
Yeah, and a couple weeks ago, Eric was talking about that too, and just all the festivals that Denver has
Yeah.
going on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Concerts. I mean, with the concert series over at the Sculpture Park,
Yeah.
I think there was just this backlog of concerts that were rescheduled, and trying to get back on the road again. They started creating different places for concerts,
Okay.
and that
Yeah,
didn't
that's
always used to be
great.
a venue, but now they're doing concerts there
Yeah.
every week, which is kind
That's
of cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Definitely.
And so I know that you grew up in Colorado and everything, but we've been asking this: do you have a Colorado specific bucket list?
Yeah, like stuff I want to do. What do I still want to do?
Like
I
trail
need to
run a
go-
14er or something?
14ers are not in my future. Good on y'all who do them. Not for me. I need to do more camping. There's some definite sites that I definitely want to do. I have a friend who just went backpacking in Rocky Mountain National Park.
Oh, yeah.
That's something I would love to do. That seems incredible. What else? Just more Denver-based things, like I'm saying. So if y'all know more things, I want to hit up a bunch more museums here. I've been to the big ones, like the Natural Science Museum, the Art Museum, but there's a bunch of tiny little niche ones that I want to get to.
Yeah, the History Museum too. is
Yeah, I
really cool.
haven't been there. Lived here my whole life. Haven't been there. Haven't been to the Molly Brown house.
Oh, yeah,
like
that's a
all
fun
that
one.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like I just want to hit before. Yeah, in
Cool.
Colorado.
Well, I'll tell you, down in Creed, Colorado, there's a mining loop just outside of Creed, and that is really cool. So
Okay, yeah.
check out Creed, Colorado, and then check out that little mining loop. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. It's
Love to do
a lot of beautiful scenery down there as well
Okay.
and stuff. So.
And there's that Steamboat Springs train. What's the big train? Do y'all know what I'm
That's the
talking
Silverton-
about? Silverton.
Yeah.
train.
Durango to
That's another thing
Silverton.
I need to do.
That is beautiful. My family and I just did that over 4th of July weekend. That's really cool. We drove up there, rode the train up to Silverton, and my mom and dad met us there, and then we
Oh,
drove
cool.
back.
Oh, nice.
It's a long day.
Yeah.
It's like 3 hours up, and then you're 2 hours in there. 2 hours in
Yeah.
Silverton. In fact, one of our road trips I did up in Silverton.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then it's 3 hours back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a
A
long
whole
day.
day, yeah.
It is definitely, but if you can find a ride back to Durango, it's only like 45 minutes back. So
Oh,
anyway,
gotcha.
that's the one
Yeah.
I'm thinking of there. Yeah, but so you're connected to hospitality here. Through talking to you and stuff. You worked for a little bit in a pizza joint.
Yeah.
You kind of grew up in a hotel.
Yeah, I like to say
environments.
Yeah, I mean, growing up, my folks worked a bunch of different things, but my mom was a server for a long time and worked in a hotel, the Broker Hotel in Boulder. Don't know
Oh,
if anyone
yeah.
knows what it is.
Oh, the Broker.
Yeah.
Yeah, Broker's beautiful. Yeah.
It is a lovely hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up in their kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, just, I don't know, like when you're a kid and parents are working, they kind of put you in the back with a stack of toys while they're working. That's just kind of, I don't know, a big thing.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I was kind of always in there, helping when I can. I started, like you said, at that pizza joint kind of as soon as I could, just busting tables.
Yeah.
And worked there for 4-ish years, I think, doing stuff. But yeah.
Oh, okay. Very good. So with that, then, do you have working or staying, participating in?
Ooh.
Do you have your most memorable hospitality experience?
Yeah. That's a good question. Thinking about like I grew up in Colorado, born and raised, and then I had this moment during college when I was like, I have never been anywhere else. I hardly traveled growing up. And so I kind of pulled the trigger and went to a study abroad in Spain.
Oh,
and while I was there, which was awesome, there was a bunch of like tourism like organizations there. So that's kind of my hospitality thing, who would coordinate like a long weekend in Morocco or in Paris. And I did 2 of those, and that was like an awesome tourism agency that I went to both times, who planned enough events for you but also gave you enough exploring time, which is awesome for somebody like me who had really never traveled before. So that's a great experience that sticks out to me, is kind of interacting.
Yeah,
like
going
in
to
that
Morocco,
hospital
man, that's amazing.
It was
That's
a cool
awesome.
time for sure.
Wow.
That's definitely on my bucket list, is to get out to Spain.
Spain,
Yeah, Spain, Morocco, that and like the Mediterranean stuff. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
one of mine.
Yeah.
So with that, then, like, you know, I don't know how. Well, where do you see the hospitality industry going? I mean, obviously you're going to be advising students through their, through their academic career. So where do you see the hospitality industry going?
Yeah, that's a good question as well. I think especially kind of after 2020 and kind of everybody not being able to go out to restaurants or not being able to kind of go travel or even study abroad. I see study abroad kind of having this big moment here this next year, which is awesome. Super excited to work with students. Like I am working with one student who's going to Italy to learn about pasta and wine right now. Incredible.
Oh, man.
So like stuff like that is kind of, I know Dean Hardigree has called it like revenge tourism before. It's like, we want to get out into the world again. We want to go to restaurants. We want to open restaurants again. So I'm very curious to kind of see in this next year, especially, kind of the aftermath of what we were just experiencing, and even as things may continue, we may continue to experience those things, kind of where the hospitality industry goes in that sense, and kind of what, I mean, we've already been so creative with how we're administering like food and beverage kind of during that time, so I'm curious to see what else happens and kind of what becomes like more normal almost with
the
it.
new norm.
Yeah, exactly. Like we kind of keep saying that. So yeah, how do we travel now? How do we experience food now? Is it going to be the same? Is it not going to be the same? But yeah, I kind of see people are itching to go do things again.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we'll
And
see what that
there
looks
would
like.
be a huge influx of people, and
Yeah.
and I think tours too will kind of force a change as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just, we have such a desire to be together with people and do things that we're innovative, and we have been innovative enough, but we'll be creative so that way we can still engage with people, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we'll figure out the right way to do things, and it's going to look a little bit different, but we're all going to do it.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to travel. We're all going to go see friends and family.
Yeah.
It just looks a little different now, and now we're just honestly a little safer.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had the flu. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think we'll see a lot of changes. We've gone through a lot of changes for the better. And here in the School of Hospitality, said we're going through a lot of changes. We've been through a lot, and that includes getting more great staff members like Maddie there. So Maddie, thank you again for joining our team. Thank you for coming aboard. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
Let's
appreciate
go.
it. Now we're gonna go
make some patties and cook
make
up
some
those burgers and
patties
do
check it out.
do some
Very
tasting.
good. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in our culinary demonstration theater where we were a couple weeks ago doing our steak Diane. Today we're gonna go ahead and finish up our
Make some patties.
here. We're gonna make up. So last week we had Diane. This week we have Patty. Oh, I'm just kidding. Not right. Anyway, so we're gonna make up our patties here, and Maddie has joined us in the in the demonstration theater here. So Jimmy, you're gonna do up the Impossible over there, and I am doing up the ground beef here. So
how big are we going here? What do we?
I think like 4 or 5 ounces, maybe.
Okay. All right.
So with that, I should be able to get maybe 4 patties
Quarter pound?
here. Yeah, I think quarter pounders would
Okay.
be good.
Cool. Yep. So a good way to do that is just decide what you're doing, how many you want out of there, and then just kind of divide your pile of meat or impossible, and just kind of separate it out, make sure it looks a little even. And then grab that, and then start making your patty from there. Now, we talked about this earlier.
That's a really great technique. I like that. I just start scooping, and then I just I eyeball them, and then.
See, I do that too sometimes, but then I end up with like.
And then I pet them, and I stroke them, and I, hey George, and then I just kind of see which one is a little big. That one's a little small. This one's a little big. So we'll add take a little there, add a little there.
And you're just kind of gently patting it into a patty, right?
Yeah. Again, following that same principle, I guess, of mixing. Yeah, we don't want to crush them, and we want to crush them maybe in the pan. Yeah, we definitely don't want to really smush them together. Again, we want to be as gentle as possible, as we can.
You want your burger to kind of, if you mix it too much, it gets tough, right?
Yeah, that's right.
You want it to kind of flake apart and fall apart in your mouth.
That's right. So, all right. So I'm going to, you know what? We're using non-stick pans here. If you want oil, Jimmy, you're welcome to use it. But this burger has quite a bit of fat in it already, so I'm not going to do any more oil in here.
I think we'll do a little oil on this guy.
Okay. All right. So we're doing about quarter pounders here. So we have 1 pound of products. We've divided it up into 4s. So I can do math.
This seasoning mix smells really good.
It does smell pretty good. So, all right. So I'm going to dimple the middle here a little bit. Do you dimple yours?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. That's to prevent it from puffing up like a big kind of a ball. All right. So we'll go right in there. Again, here we're just searing them, right? I would probably grill them. That would probably be my preference.
Turn me on too?
I did.
Okay. Well, thank you, sir.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're so kind.
Showtime, that's it. All right, so my edges here might be a little bit jagged too here, but
yeah, but it should look a little rustic, right?
Yeah, a little bit. What can I get for you?
The oil, please.
Oh,
you were offering it earlier.
I know. So there you go.
You got your raw hands.
There. Well, at least
Thanks for the hand off. For the wrist off.
The wrist off. There you go. So, all right.
That's one good thing about plant-based meats is you don't have to worry about salmonella or weird diseases.
Yeah, I mean, you have to worry about some cross-contamination. But
oh, listen to that. It's got a nice sizzle.
Oh, it does have a nice sizzle. There you go. Can't hear it over the roaring beef over here. But
roaring beef. We're not going to overcrowd, but we're going to get 3 done in here.
Uh-oh.
See how
you need a bigger
big
pan? I know, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Did that on purpose. No. Okay. All right. So now we're just going to let those cook a little bit. Jimmy, so where are you looking on, or how are you looking?
Yeah, so
on
these
yours?
are looking pretty good. They browned up nice. We did notice a little bit of a difference. Really, definitely getting a darker color on there. This is a little bit more of a golden brown.
Yeah.
I cut the heat on this. I may have cooked a little too much on that side. But if you kind of, it just has we were saying earlier, it looks like a sausage patty almost. Kind of reminds me of like Morningstar vegetarian patties too.
Oh, okay.
So, it still looks like a good burger.
Yeah, it definitely does, and these are cooking away nicely here. We've got some blood coming to the surface here on these burgers, so that indicates that we're about at a medium temperature. So we could go maybe 5 or 6 more minutes here, and we'll be about medium well. We'll let those go for just a few more minutes.
This is a fancy plate for a burger patty.
I know, but I know I love those agave leaves. They're pretty cool.
These are cool. All right, well, I'm going to pull mine off and get mine plated.
Yeah, sounds good.
Plated. We're just putting it on a plate.
We're just putting it on a plate.
Taste, right?
Yeah, we're not really getting. Today was just a sensory analysis day, so. Yeah, so, and I know we put quite a bit of aromatics in here, but I can really smell kind of that garlic and that onion, and that oregano and thyme coming off mine. Did you get that same sense off?
Yeah,
those
yeah,
as well?
definitely. Definitely get the herbs in there.
Yeah,
And so it's good. We're on the same. We have the same base for both of these.
that's right. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've got a feeling that we're once we let these set and rest. Again, just like a few weeks ago, when we had the steak Diane, we want to rest that meat. That way we get a nice juicy hamburger that way. All right. Those molecules, that heat going through that meat is just going like crazy, so we want that to settle down. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull one of mine off here. I'll pull this one here, that one looks good.
I still have one more to cook. The big pan.
Oh yeah, I did take the big pan. Okay. You want to just put that last veggie one in the beef here? All right,
Beef flavored.
beef flavored veggie patty. And Jimmy, while these were cooking, actually I added a little bit of oil to the pan. We didn't get as much fat coming out of that burger as really as we wanted to, so I had to put a little bit of oil in there, and kind of let that oil help cook the meat there too. All right, Jimmy. So which one should we taste first? I say we do the plant-based burger first.
Okay.
We'll taste that one, and we'll compare it to the ground beef one there. So.
I mean, texture-wise, it held together really well. I wasn't sure how it was going to hold together.
Yeah, it cuts fairly nicely as well.
And
looks like a well-done burger on the inside.
Yeah, but it still it looks like meat.
It does look like meat, yeah. I mean, it tastes just like what we season it with.
Yeah, the seasoning's in there. You can definitely get a lot of the herb. Texture-wise, I like that crisp.
I do
It's
like
like
that
that-
crispiness in there.
Yeah, it's like that crunch that you get on a good burger too.
Mm-hmm.
And then kind of soft and yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say I like that better than the Morningstar. We used to eat a lot of those for breakfast.
Yeah. But I like that texture a lot.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's really surprising.
Mm-hmm.
All right, on to the beef.
On to the beef.
Now comparing too.
And I mean, this one crumbles.
Yeah, that crumbles a little bit more because
A little bit more.
the grind on it is definitely that's a thicker grind on the meat.
Yeah.
Whereas the plant-based protein, it's a little bit more fine. And
grind.
sometimes though, like when you have a really fine ground beef, it looks like this,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Definitely that meatier, chewier texture.
Yeah, definitely got a more of a chew for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, definitely has that beefy flavor to it as well.
Mhm.
That ground beef.
The kind of unctuous umami.
Yeah.
But I gotta be honest, I kind of like this better.
I really like that.
Oh, yeah.
I want to see what they taste like together.
Yeah. We do a double cheeseburger with beef and a,
Oh,
and
there
a
you go.
vegetarian patty.
A vegetarian patty and a beef patty on the same burger. That'd be fun.
Half it. Well, I mean, anyway, you're cutting down the amount of protein or like amount of beef that you're consuming.
Mm-hmm.
So if you do eat meat but want to cut it down, I wonder what it'd be like to mix the two.
Yeah, good point. Grind
So
the
what
two
you're-
together, and
Yeah, still in an effort to reduce the amount of resources that we use and how much meat we're consuming as a nation. That's one way you can kind of cut that in half, literally,
yeah.
and mix the two.
You know what? Maybe later on in the season, or maybe in the spring, we should do a meat loaf
Mm.
of Impossible and ground beef.
Yeah,
Just see what.
and
that's
obviously
all about.
it depends on what reason you're a vegetarian. If it's for conservation and
Yeah.
the effect that beef has on the planet, then Yeah, that's great. Obviously, vegetarians just go straight with the all the impossible meat. But
Yeah.
cool.
Still delicious though.
Yeah,
I
that was great.
I really like that product. I think that's pretty good.
And Maddie, we'll get you a taste over here too.
Yeah, Maddie, come on up. Our student advisor Maddie here is going to is going to have an Impossible Burger as well.
Oh, here's a fork.
And,
I already told you.
All right.
but,
don't worry, Steve. We'll feed you too. Don't worry.
Yeah, that's
Steve
very
is the
good.
man behind the camera, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, that's very good. You have impossible versus possible. No, this is very good.
Nice.
Yeah, good option.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us today. It
Thanks
was
for having
really
me.
good
Thanks
talking
for
to you.
cooking for me.
Yeah, thanks
You're
for giving us
welcome.
the opportunity to let you speak to the students a little bit. And any students out there watching, come see both Maddie, me,
Mhm.
Jason too. We're here for you all the time.